Thank you. Oh, the places you'll go. There's a great Dr. Seuss book, I don't know if you guys have read, but congratulations, today's your day. I'm going to take you on a journey about sustainable fashion. And my favorite word is bioaccumulation, which we'll talk about in a minute. But first, I want to associate myself with Scotland. Yes, I've been here a lot lately. I'm from Tennessee, though, originally. But funny enough, I was on the plane over, and there was a great film. And it was about this, what do you call him?
Which one?
Glasgonian, right? Glaswegian, sorry. Glaswegian musician, right? And she was wanting to be a country star, because you guys have the Garner Opry here, which I was born and raised in. And haven't been, because we actually don't two-step in Tennessee. We don't do the line dancing, we do two-stepping, which is, I'll show you later. But this film was about her passion of being this artist, raised here, and going to Nashville, Tennessee, right? So as we can all imagine, we all have these passions in life that we want to pursue. So mine is about sustainable fashion, but as you'll come to find out, there's a reason for it. There's a lot more that goes into fashion that you may or may not know. I'll expose some dirty little secrets, but I've been told to behave, so I'll lightly tread upon them. But my goal is that I want to introduce it to you so that you can make some educated decisions. I want to bring back your choice, right? Because in the consumer market, we believe what's in front of us. We believe the marketing that's fed us. I look around, I'm studying every one of you right now. I know exactly what fabrication you're wearing. I know how it's dyed. I know exactly what chemicals are in it. Don't worry, you don't have to take anything off. They told me to behave. So first of all, before we go there, this is a piece that you can see here. We shot at Glencoe. Beautiful. Weather changes like every minute. It's crazy. But this is your Scottish textile. This is the linen, made here in a mill from the 1900s. So I did a collection with Historic Environment Scotland. We did it at Edinburgh Castle. This is a horse monarch. He's stabled near Edinburgh. And I borrowed him for the show, and then we have some more of the Scottish textiles there shown. So it's the first time ever they opened up the castle for a catwalk. So I was loving it. We had an orchestra, we had a band from Nashville play, we had a guitarist, a violinist. It was beautiful. So the encouragement was that basically we're going to bring about these old Scottish textiles in a new format. And so as you can see here, I think that was the red thing. There we go. So there's the ballroom there. Beautiful, right? So I based it off Mary Queen of Scots. So at this time period, there's women in power of all these countries. You had Anne of Denmark, you had the Medici, Catherine de' Medici. She was brilliant. Not really, but what she did was interesting. She was the first one to create the corset. She told the court how to dress, and she implemented like a dress code. They'd use little dolls that they'd send around to the different courts and say, this is what I'm wearing. This is the style. Isn't that interesting? Before we had fashion mags, that's how it was presented. So it was an interesting time. So all these women were in power because all the kings had been died somehow. And so young boy kings, and they were the powerful monarchs. So the infusion you can see in the collection. So again, all Scottish textiles. The lace factory here is brilliant as well. Actually, he's wearing one of the lace ties, but we're going to play with that later. So this was actually a tree that they planted when Mary Queen of Scots visited the castle. It's kind of a tradition here in Scotland, is what I've been told, that when you have a visit, you plant a tree. So it's still alive, which is brilliant. And then, I don't know where to click. So here's another piece here. I'm just going to quickly go through this. So that's the Edinburgh, Scotland collection. And Historic Environment Scotland was proud to present this collection because of the use of the textiles. We have if you guys want to go, they actually have in the retail store some of the products we created. So the idea is that we can get these textilers to do different products, right? Maybe not. They're used in a lot of interior design shops and stuff now, but it's like we made little cups and little ties and things of that nature because we want to do local production. We want to support local production. So now we're moving on. This is something we shot into beautiful snow in Tennessee. But let me talk about biomimicry. Does anyone know about biomimicry? It's a study of nature to get solutions in life, right? It's not extracting nature, right? We're studying nature, like a hummingbird is to a helicopter. Hummingbirds are my favorite bird. They're the only bird that flies backwards, and they're on the brink of death every day. I love it. That's how I want to live life, So when you study nature, as I have, you learn a lot about plant-based dyes. So why is everything synthetically dyed today? Why? Cheaper, quicker, right? There's no variations. There's no science to it. Pick a number, within a minute, you have your dye bats, done, and it's solid. If you can tell, I'm wearing kind of gradients. There's indigo here. This is some of the marigold flowers. These are hemp as well. So I don't know. I have a little magic trick. Is my team ready for me? So I'm going to do a little visual display for you because, I don't know, nobody really believes me. So I sit at my little farm in Tennessee, and I don't get out much, if you can't tell. And can I borrow your, yeah, let me borrow that lace. Oh, and I need my waistcoat. Can you bring that one over? Thank you. All right, so you guys have to forgive me. So, a little costume change here. So, I basically kind of do this mad science thing. Quickly, my grandfather worked in the Manhattan Project, Oak Ridge, Tennessee, which, if you guys know, that was the kind of underground secret lab in which they made the fuel for the atomic bomb. So I spent time with him. He was the main scientist. He didn't know what he was making, obviously. And we spent time in the basement just kind of making things. That was my upbringing. So I was supposed to go to West Point Academy, which is in America, that's kind of our military officer academy. Had a full ride. I said, nah, I don't feel like going. So I jumped in my Jeep and with my long hair and drove to California. Family didn't like that too much, but I decided I wanted to use my brain for nature, to help people. Wouldn't call myself a scientist, but as a designer, I believe that we shouldn't do anything that could possibly harm people or the environment. So, where did I put it here? All right, you have to forgive me. I'm I'm an artist, let's just say it. All right, this is logwood. All right, I don't know if I can pick it up. So there's no trick to this. This is hot water and logwood, which is a bark, right? You can see it turning purple. That's the magic. Typically, I'd let this sit overnight. This is what you call your dye vat. And then you would prep your fabric and a vinegar, right? It kind of cleans it, gets it ready for your dye. I don't know, I hope your neck is clean. So simply, I'm just going to dip it in, and that's it. And we'll let it sit for a minute, and then I'll show you guys what happens. And let's hope that this is strong enough. Because there's measurements to it. So simply, to put it simply, so I've been to China, I've been to the areas in which they do all the denim dyeing, etc. The Pearl River flows like whatever they're dyeing at the moment. I mean, this river flows like tar. Why? There's petroleum-based chemicals within the synthetic dyes and the fabrications. You light a match on that sucker, the whole thing's gone. I mean, and this denim, I don't know if you know this, but the reason why it's so hard is the starch. They starch it. What does starch do in water? Sucks all the oxygen out. So all the fish, everything dies, right? So anyway, I've experienced this firsthand. Obviously, if this is something I'm doing in life, I want to know firsthand what happens, right? So in this case, with the dye vats, naturally, plant-based dyes, they're not going to harm the environment. So imagine, and I can keep recharging this dye vat and use it over and over. I could dye all your ties if you wanted to right now. I just have to measure it, put my little logwood back in and recharge it, and then keep doing it over and over and over, right? So that takes thinking, a little bit of science. It's like cooking a recipe, right? You start from finish, go to the end. We'll say you divide it up in the middle, and you're like, I want to make not this much, but this much. Then you have to remeasure, right? It's a little bit more time-consuming, difficult. So that's why, I'm trying to get you guys to understand, that's why these major manufacturers choose not to go in this direction. Too time-consuming, too costly. But the reality is, it'll add 10 cents to your pair of jeans, right? I can't say names, but there's guys out there that are big stores that basically beat up these manufacturers and say, hey, we need to be able to buy it or sell it for this amount. And so therefore, the manufacturer says, okay, well, we can't recycle our dye water. We can't do plant-based dyes because we'll never reach that price point. They lose a contract. They're out of business. So you can understand it's an economics game because everyone keeps asking me, sustainable fashion, it's big, it's trendy right now. Is it ever going to take root? Well, not until the consumers demand it because we need the orders. We need the majority of you guys, to walk out of here and want to wear the stuff. Anybody wearing polyester boxers? All right, so polyester, nylon. Typically, they give that nice stretch quality, make you look all modern and sexy, right? I forget his name, but that surfer guy, they were like on the front box. Everyone wants to be like him. Problem with it, right, the spandex has TDI in it. It's a hormone disruptor. I won't get into the science of it today. I only have 5 minutes left. But it's a hormone disruptor. Polyester doesn't allow water through, right? So you take polyester, beat it up, drop it on, it beads up, falls off. Okay? What that means is there's positive, negative. Electrostatic energy happens. So do we know what that means? That means you might have some fertility issues, right? It's a big deal. That's why I wear my hemp boxers every day. And gentlemen, they are on sale online. I only do two things commercially. I do hemp bras and hemp boxers. Because I figured when I give these talks, everybody's like, what do I do, Jeff? And they look at me like a deer in the headlights. I'm like, I wish I could help you, but, I just made them for me. Sorry. But I'm here to help. So same thing, ladies. We got, I'm supposed to be good. But nylon bras, right? That beautiful lace. This lace is made of cotton. The lace of your nylon bra that you paid $17, $20 for, not going to mention names, may look sexy, but it's nylon, right? Not a good thing, right? There's a test I love to talk about. My friends know it so well. I call it the brolic test, all right? So the beginning of the video, that's why I put it on. It's like, my friend did an introduction. He's a Southern gentleman. Please forgive me, I am a Southern gentleman. But today, I'm making a point. So all you gentlemen and or ladies in the audience, when you take off the bra of your partner and you start kissing her breast, and it tastes like an envelope you just licked at the post office, that, my dear, is the formaldehyde in the bra. All right? Formaldehyde is the staying power. It is the glue to the dyes for your fabrications. It's also found in glue. It's found in a lot of products, even our food, right? But that is it. So most of the time, the guys are like, yeah, that's what that is. And the girls are like, really? All right, I'm going to... and you'll take a shower. But that's the reality. So that's in your bloodstream. Okay, so there's a disconnect here. And I want to make this point very clear. Everything that you wear is going to go into your body. You guys understand that? Like, we understand it with food. What you ate for lunch today, it's going in your body, right? But your body was designed to take in food. Your kidneys, your liver, etc. You have protection. But what you put on your body, we're supposed to be nudist. Really, that's how we were designed. We're never supposed to be clothed. That's our skin. Our skin's going to take in everything. So therefore, you got to be careful what you put on your bodies. You guys ever go running? Guys in the t-shirts discolor underneath your arm? Right? It's aluminum in your deodorant, mixed in with the formaldehyde in your dye. I don't know. Is it creating a problem? Possibly. So there's this thing in your body. It's love design. Okay, I look at the body as a beautiful design. Lymphatic system. Lymphatic system is like a clock that you don't wind up, right? It works off of movement. It moves all the toxins out of your body, right? So all these fatty tissues in your breast needs everything moved out, because that's where it kind of perks, right? So I'm trying to be proper here. So one, bras are restrictive in motion. So we need to move. Breast, they just need to move. So ladies, please don't wear your bras all day. Now you look back in history, industrial age created this, right? During the war, that's when the synthetic fabrics began. What happened? Parachutes. Parachutes were made out of silk. Ladies had silk stockings, right? We didn't need more silk. So what happened? DuPont was paid, right, by the government, it's an American company, to create a synthetic, to mimic biomimicry, to mimic silk. That is nylon. So then ladies started wearing nylon stockings, but you didn't know why. But nylon was created for the parachutes. So they decided after the war, oh, great, it's cheap, easy to make, we have a lot of it. Silk stockings aren't expensive anymore, you don't have to fix them. Just buy nylon stockings, throw them away. They get a rep, as they do, because it's Tensile strength of this synthetic stuff is not great. These are hemp pants. I'll go riding them in horses 100 times, no holes. If I wear spandex stretch commercial riding pants, holes after 4 rides. It's called design obsolescence. They actually teach it to designers in school today, that basically they want products to fall apart. Why? It puts people back into the store. So the zippers, the snaps, the way it's sewn, the fabrication, you wash it 3 or 4 times, it's done, right? Beauty of natural fibers is that you don't have to wash them. So when I give you those hemp boxers, you can wear them for a week. You don't have to wash them. It's true. I used to dress this boy band called the Jonas Brothers. They loved them. They'd sleep in them, play in them, wear them the next day. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but sorry. But the hemp is antifungal, antibacterial, breathable. It doesn't hold smells. That's why I love wearing it on an airplane. They look at me when I go through security like, oh, really? But it's true. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. So here's a few. We did a show at Chateau Fontainebleau. Here's a few more of the fabrications you can see here. You know, obviously this is more for show, right? So the idea is that I'm bringing about, these are natural dyes you can see with the indigos and the purples. This is green sands in Death Valley. It's pretty. This is one Da Vinci collection. I did stuff. This one's in the Smithsonian Museum, which was interesting. Came with white gloves and picked it up. It's like, yes. But it was cool because they said, Jeff, you're using natural fibers. Because they have to know what the material makeup is in order to keep it, right? They want to keep it for generation. It's pretty cool because, you know, fashion is fickle. Cara Delevingne, Olivia First, she's a big advocate of sustainable fashion. This is dyed with indigo. It's when Colin won the Golden Globe. Giselle, she's also a big advocate. And the Camerons, also a big advocate. Avatar, etc. You know, believe in the synergy of effect. So they have a contest for the Oscars, and it's green dress for the red carpet. Susie does it. She basically gets celebrities to wear sustainable clothing to the red carpet, again, for more awareness, right? So Kellen, he was in this film, Twilight, and I made him hemp pants, and he's a big dude, and so a hemp jacket, but no stretch, right? I had to tell him not to work out on that one. There's another one. So here, you can't really read it, but this is an article that was in basically talking about the dye vat up there. That's what I wanted to show you. That's the indigo dye vat. So that never goes away. That stays. So I could dye all your denim with that dye vat and recharge it, etc. But this talks about what fabrics are okay and what fabrics are not, right? So we've already talked about polyester. This is toxic road. Again, we're going on a journey. So, you know, you guys are like looking at me like, what are, you know, the fireproofing you guys have heard about, right? With the babies, all that stuff. It's not good, right? And then we're talking about the dyeing, the textiles, the pesticides, and raising the crops, cleaning the fabric. So this is key. So you guys, we talk about manufacturing, we talk about actual clothing, but you know what the number one pollutant in the textile industry is? Washing your clothes. So that's something you guys can all change today. It's true. So I'm wearing natural. I literally dip mine in the ocean and hang it out. I live in Malibu now most of the time. That's what I do. But I don't wash it that often, to be honest. If you guys are wearing your synthetic fabrics, you're washing them every day. Polyester, it's a polymer. Guess what? It peels off. Microbeads. You guys heard about this in the paper? Microbeads go in the ocean. Why? They're coming out of your wash. They're peeling off, coming out of your wash. Our filtration systems and water treatment plants, we're not designed to handle these. So it's going straight out the streams into the oceans. Fish are being cut open, found the microbeads inside. That's where it's coming from. And not to mention what you wash your clothes with, right? So if you use a product that starts with a T, I can't say it, but you know, say your mom washed with this tea product, and you were raised smelling the smell with your sheets, with your clothing. I'm going to school, and your mom washed them. You associate that smell with cleanliness, right? So chances are, later in life, you're going to wash your own clothes with that same brand. These guys are smart, and their intellectual property of the makeup of that soap, detergent. And basically in that is the chemical that they won't disclose, but it's protected because it sets itself apart from all the other brands. But you shouldn't be using it, because think about it this way, anything that has a staying power is not going to be healthy. I did a perfume a few years back, designed it, used all of these natural oils, etc., sprayed it on all the models for catwalks, like, yes, they all loved it, but within 20 minutes, it was gone. They had to reapply. That's what you want. The staying power. again, I can't name names, but the first very perfume which a lot of the older generation women wear, one of the most popular, has a lot of formaldehyde and the staying power. They now have asthma. So there is connection, right? Bioaccumulation. I'll wrap it up here, but bioaccumulation, right? I can't sit there and say your nylon bra is going to cause breast cancer. But I can say 1 in 8 women get it nowadays. Why? Think about it. They have PR companies, they have a lot of money, they're going to deter you and say, oh, it's the underwire in the bra. Not really. That's what, Victoria's Secrets, I can say this, they were sued by 600 women. It's in the paper, you can read about it, for breast cancer. That's when they took away the underwire bra. It's a conduit of radiation. And it is. But it took you away from the truth. The truth of the matter is the fabrication, the dyes, the carcinogens that are in it, right? I know, it's such a heavy day. So sorry, I'm like the bad news in the room. But I sincerely want you guys to walk away with this. My mom's now dealing, her breast cancer came back. I just found out last week it's spread. So I'm rushing back tomorrow to go back to Tennessee. But it hits everyone. Everyone in this room has been affected in some way, somehow. So that's why I'm here. So that's why I'm doing this. This is some of the natural dyes. Just to show you, up close, that's some of the logwood, right? This is on my farm in Tennessee, by the way. I like to paint on the dresses sometimes, but it gives a beautiful black color. That's my horse trough. So the horse trough is made of metal, so the rust affects the dye, right? If you use copper, just like cooking, copper, metal. So it's a very creative process. And then, so this is what I wanted to show you, and then we'll wrap it up. But there was a study called the Singer Study, and this talks about, basically they had 4,700 women in Fiji, okay? They tried to bury this study, but basically 47 women in Fiji never wore a bra before. They took half of them in bras, half of them without bras. This is what they found, okay? Do you guys think there's a correlation? I do. They say it's more connection than smoking is to lung cancer, basically, 3 times. Somebody needs some help there. And then you guys can read this, take a picture or whatever, but the idea of sustainability argues a lesser world is true in the sense of it calls for less waste, pollution, harm, devastation, depleted souls, poisoned workers, dying bodies of water, etc. Sustainability is a forerunner of greater diversity and choice, not less. It offers meaningful work, greater multiplicity of livelihoods, the reinstitution of local production in a safer world, and lives worth living. Everyone says, Jeff, we're going to lose jobs, companies are going to go out of business. And if you read the news, a lot of these major retailers are, right? But it leaves room for green companies, right? It's going to go there. Just like when the music industry had a shift from tapes to CDs to now digital. Yeah, nobody likes change, but we need to do it for our future generation. We need to do it for our moms. We need to do it for our daughters. I was the only dad who made their daughter their first training bra. I thought it was cool. I made her 3 different color options. She didn't think it was cool. I was like, you can take it to school. You can get your other friends wearing it. We can make a change. She looked at me like I was just a freak. So there you have it. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this little journey and segue. I hope it wasn't too heavy, but it's from my heart. So thank you guys for listening.